Hello and welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. If you are watching this video, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and get involved in the comments, whether that's on this live stream right now or on replay. Please do get in the comment section and I'll be sure to respond to that as well. Big news coming out of Aston Villa again today, more transfer stories and rumours. As I said, the transfer season is in full swing, whether you like it or not, because these are where the deals get done. Early on in the window, you find your targets, you butter them up in May, you go sign them in June. And this is where Villa have been linked to another potential centre-back target, who again will have a look in depth. Is he going to be someone who's going to improve us, or is it merely a squad addition? Second of all, the Joan Garcia transfer update. More news, of course, the new noise about Emi Martinez potentially leaving Aston Villa to go to Saudi Arabia. Well, again, more stories are coming out of that one. And finally, Rashford rehab in Dubai. That's right, Marcus Rashford has been spotted in Dubai doing his rehab. Not in England, but in Dubai. And I want to know people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions around that one as well. But if you are watching right now, then big up to you. Of course, we've got some big football going on tonight. We've got the Europa League action, where, of course, Manchester United and Tottenham are looking like they're about to have a final. And that doesn't look good for Villa. I'm not going to lie. This Europa League campaign is absolutely shocking for Aston Villa, because we could potentially be able to see a Manchester United or Spurs team not only win a trophy, but they also go to the Champions League. So, dearie me, not good for Villa. But the only other positive I can fall on tonight is Nottingham Forest are actually losing 1-0 to Brentford. So I am worried about this Europa League campaign. We need to sort of probably talk about that tomorrow if it goes the way I think it is, which is an all-English Europa League final in which one of those gets the route to the Champions League. And as I said, a trophy, which is what we don't want. So there we go. But we're going to go into the Villa news then in a second. It is 2-0. Big up to Joey, big up to VJ, big up to my mum, my dad, Black Country Villain as well. And if you're in the chat, do say hello, because look, we have to talk about these transfer targets, because it is going to be something that is happening a lot now in the next month or two. So the first one is, let's go straight to it, is this tweet here that has came out about a centre-back in the 23-year-old Enzo Boyomo. So Aston Villa are looking at Osasuna centre-back Enzo Boyomo as a potential summer signing. He has a 25 million release clause. Now, we keep getting told about these release clauses, and every time we look at these sort of release clauses, it does make me think actually that we are picking up what I would call these moneyball types of signings. We're looking at teams that basically have a very, very good potential in developing young upcoming players. Now, you say Osasuna, and I had a look at the table actually. I thought, where are Osasuna? What are Osasuna looking like? How are Osasuna faring? Is this guy a good defender? Osasuna are actually coming in 8th. Their highest position could finish is 7th, which would be a European spot. Right now, Osasuna are sat in a Conference League position. So this is quite good in the sense that we're looking at a player who is a European sort of caliber, but he came in new to this Osasuna side and has done fairly well. He has his pros and he has his weaknesses, and I'm going to be interested to share with you his weaknesses with you, especially because for me, what I'm craving for Aston Villa is to sign what I'm going to call proper defender. I'm looking for another Tyrone Mings. What I'm not looking for is another Pau Torres. But we may or may not get that hybrid with this player. And when I talk about hybrid, I think we're getting a little bit of Pau Torres and a little bit of Tyrone Mings here. Because when I show you this graph and statistics of this player, they talk about how good his passing range is, how good his forward passing is, but also his ability on 1v1 duels on the ground. So a very good one-on-one defender to stop dribbling, very good passing range. But what they talk about, again, is that he is very, very poor in the air, a lack of aerial threat. And so is that something that we, as a centre-back, want to avoid? And in terms of pace, again, he's in between. He's an in-between. He's not the quickest, but he's not Pau Torres slow. So just a little quick summary of that, but we'll go into a bit more depth on that one. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to Brian, Legend, Jamie's in here. Big up to AVFC85. And he's quite right in saying everyone seems to have a release clause now, which is true, which is absolutely true. And you have to trigger them. And that's the thing now. What I do always think about with football clubs is, why do clubs make their release clause so cheap? If you never want a player to leave, why activate such a cheap release clause? And so, look, we're looking at 2 players in Spain already. And when people say, why do we keep going to Spain? It's very obvious. It's the Monchi links. It's the league that he knows inside out. Going for Osasuna, and we're going for Espanyol players, not top hybrid Spanish teams, but those mid to top tier Spanish teams. And we're going for players who've got 20 million release clause. So just to put that one up again, look, Aston Villa are looking at Osasuna centre-back Enzo Boyomo as a potential summer signing, 25 million release clause, which is, by the way, 25 million euros probably could come down to, I think it was, 22.5 mil, something like that. So, yeah, not too stressful in that sense. But look, let's go further on them in some other news coming out of it. And this is actually one what I found quite interesting is we've actually looked at this guy before. And this was confirmed here, which I'll show you now. The Osasuna sporting director has basically come out and said the following. Breda Vazquez said the sporting director of Osasuna, 23-year-old centre-half Enzo Boyomo. It's true that because of his position on the field, his conditions and age, I think there are important teams that are following him, but Aston Villa in particular. Forgot to add he's a Cameroonian international. He's a centre-back. And when they talk about his age, he's 23 years old. And his conditions is basically very quick, very good on the ball. This was done. This tweet was made, by the way. And this quote was said all the way back in December 2024, so before the January transfer window. So this could have been a potential transfer that we were looking at in terms of centre-backs. Of course, we went and had more scope on Juan Foyth, but honestly, when you look at this, it seems that we have had an interest in this guy before. So going back to someone that we saw in January makes this transfer look even more realistic than I thought. And that's the thing. This guy here, Enzo Boyomo, I don't think it's one of those out of the blue transfers. I think this one's absolutely got scope. The second reason as well is from Mike McGrath, who again I would say is a gold tier number 1 journalist, and Villa have had interest in him in the past. So look, Osasuna, Monchi, he's going in that direction. Let's see what happens. And I'm going to show you a little bit of this profile about him now, and this is what I'm on about. AVFC85 says, Chelsea and Forest, these are clubs we need to get above. Exactly. An added bonus would be if you get a young African dude who becomes really good at the club, that would equate to a big influx of interest in the club. I mean, when you talk about African interest, can you remember Samatta? And when we signed him, and the whole of, was it Zambia? The whole of Zambia basically started supporting Aston Villa because Samatta came to the Premier League. So, look, Cameroons, we've had Cameroonians come and go in the Premier League and to England, but this one would be a very, very good pool, I think. And look, in terms of centre-half, surely we've got to find solutions in there. Axel Disasi, we signed on loan. Really, Aston Villa have only 3 registered centre-backs, in my opinion. Pau Torres, Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa. I think we know that we need an upgrade on Pau Torres. I think we know that we need more depth there, and we can't be relying on loans. So when people talk about the forward options and recruiting wide players and a striker, etc., really, if you think about it, a centre-back is exactly what we need. Samatta's Tanzania, and there we go. Thank you. It's Twist. I knew it was, yeah. Not a African country that is one of the larger ones in that sense. But yeah, the whole of Tanzania basically was behind Ali Samatta, the first ever Tanzania to come to the Premier League. So yeah, African footballer. So let's just finally show you what this really good article I found actually online about him. Where have I put it? Here we go. A really good summary. So here he is, Enzo Boyomo, and it's a good player analysis La Liga article. But Just to confirm, definitely a centre-back. None of this hybrid right-back, centre-back. Malarkey, 23 years old, right-footed, and he's played for Real, Valladolid, and now Osasuna. But yeah, he's been part of a promotion side. Oh, the other thing as well, he actually developed at Blackburn Rovers Academy, where he spent 4 years there. So again, if you think about that, he has spent 4 years in Blackburn Rovers Academy, the English route, so he'll be okay there. But yeah, to Michael Dimmitt, hope you're well. Yeah, the thing is with that, captain, it's also got a negative effect because it means that one of them wins a trophy, and the second thing is one of them goes into Champions League, and it could potentially mess up the standings, captain, for Villa as well. Potentially with Chelsea winning the Conference League, and stuff as well. It does just make Villa's season even worse if teams around us start winning silverware and go into the Champions League. But there we go. That's a story for another day. That is a rant for another day. I'm not going to lie to you. Right. But what they talk about is, I'm going to go all the way to his conclusion just to make it a little bit easier. It's a really good article. But when you want a good summary, you go down here. Right. Conclusion on Enzo Boyomo. It's a sign that has its pros and cons, as he does have great ability to play the ball, which can improve Osasuna when they have possession significantly. So when you think of Villa, we do play possession ball under Unai Emery, and that is something that, whether you like it or not, is what we've got to deal with. But it says here, also his defensive capacities are by no means bad, as he is effective in his defensive duels. So he's good in defensive duels. Nonetheless, he's very poor in the air, and that could lead to huge issues, as David Garcia was excellent aerially and defending crosses, but Boyomo lacks in this aspect. In addition, he has no experience of Spain top flight, and he's only played in the second division, so we'll have to see if he adapts to the league and Vicente Moreno. So this article was done right at the start of the season, before he started playing. Now, on conclusion of playing in the top flight, as I said, Osasuna sit in the Conference League position in La Liga. He's had he's played like 29 matches. He's been out of the 33 league games they've had. So he's been a main feature in their side. And basically, he's had a really good season, hence why Villa have come in after him. So my only sort of thoughts, feelings, and emotions around this one is let's get it done early. If this is the man, let's get it done early, because I was absolutely left frustrated. I was left absolutely, annoyed of how much time we wasted on getting Juan Foyth to then basically not. We wasted January on trying to find a centre-back, letting Diego Carlos go as well, not having a replacement. It was a mess. So if Villa are going in for Boyomo, let's get him early. Let's get him in. Let's get him settled, and let's get him playing the Unai Emery way. So if he is good in possession, which is what they're saying, then brilliant. Let's do it. So yeah, big up to Michael. AFC 85 says, it does leave a bad taste that one of them is going to win the Europa League after stinking the place up. Yeah, this is why I'm furious about Villa now. This season could end up really poor for Villa. Look, I'm not being critical. I know we're going off target, but if Spurs or United win a trophy after the season they've had, and also end up in the Champions League after the season they've had, then what's going on with us? It's why I keep saying winning a trophy is absolutely paramount for Aston Villa and Unai Emery, and we need to sort that out ASAP. And we blew it in the FA Cup. As that matter. But Forest, I believe, are still losing, which is the only good sign. We're only 3 points now behind Nottingham Forest. We've got to go get Europa League. We've got to find Europa League football. I can't be dealing with Conference League again. But there we go. Right. Garcia. Again, let's go to Garcia. Let's go to Garcia. Here it is. Another article on Garcia. Another source, by the way, a source that Fabrizio Romano follows as well. I did a little bit of digging. It's another source that Fabrizio Romano. I really, really do feel like this Emi Martinez to Saudi is going to happen, and we're going to get Joan Garcia. So Garcia has a 25 million release clause in his contract. But look at this. But Espanyol could be open to selling him for less than this, as they need to bring in funds. It is believed that 20 million euros could be accepted. Basically, Espanyol are broke, they need money, and they're going to take 20 mil, even though the release clause is absolutely pennies, really, in the modern day. A 25 million, 25 million release clause, and we can still underhand them. Damn diddly damn. So, look, I think this one's happening. I think I've come to terms with. We're getting this guy, and he's not coming to be a number 2. Let me tell you that. Garcia is not coming to be a number 2 at Aston Villa. No way, Jose. He's coming to play. He's coming to play first team football. Why on earth would you leave Espanyol after breaking into the number 1 spot? Why would you leave them? I don't understand. My only concern, Espanyol, -7 goal difference in the league. How much of that is down to Garcia? You'd have to have a look. But for me, 2 recruitment areas, centre-back and goalkeeper, Aston Villa going early. Now, centre-back, I think, is adding depth. I can't see anyone leaving. I don't think that means Tyrone Mings leaves. I don't think that means Pau Torres leaves. But the goalkeeper situation, considering we've got, let's just say this. We've got Emmy, we've got Olsen, but we know he's moving on. We've got Gauchi, we've got Unai Emery Jr., right? We've got enough goalkeepers. Why are we trying to sign another? Not just to replace Robin Olsen, because if Robin Olsen leaves, Gauchi just gets promoted, right? So I think what we're going to see is a completely new double-tier system. I think we're going to see both goalkeepers, Emmy and Robin, leave. And I think we're going to see one new one in Garcia. And I think we're going to see Joe Gauchi in as well. So we have to trust that Monchi and Unai are doing the right thing, that they've got this recruitment done early and spot on. As I said, we looked at this guy in December. So we weren't messing. We were looking at the centre-back Boyomo in December. I'm sure we've been keeping tabs on Garcia. So, yeah, we've got to see it. But, yeah, we AVFC85 is right. What else? Really felt like we've missed an opportunity this year. Massive, honestly. When you see the fact that, as I keep drumming it in, Chelsea are going to win a piece of silverware now. United or Spurs are going to win a piece of silverware. So that's 2 clubs. Liverpool's won the league. That's 3. Newcastle won the Carabao Cup 4. So that's teams around us. Man City could go win the FA Cup. Imagine if Palace did us 5. 5 different teams winning silverware. Okay. And then imagine if Arsenal go win the Champions League. 6 teams in England win a piece of silverware this season and we're not in the mix. But we want to be considered the top 4, top 6. We have to do better now on the trophy front. We can't keep waiting for this process. It's got to start delivering the rewards, I think. And that's how I see it now. I think it's as brutal as I said. Ange Postecoglou, if he goes and wins the Europa League, he can sit there with his middle finger up and swear every single person who doubted him, go, I've won silverware. I've beaten the Tottenham Voodoo. Who cares if I've had the most losses in the league? Who cares if I've stunk the Premier League out? I've delivered what you fans have been craving, a trophy. I've absolutely broken the Spurs voodoo. Jose Mourinho couldn't do it. Antonio Conte couldn't do it. Nuno Espirito Santo. You can name the list. Pochettino. None of these big managers could win a trophy at Spurs. Yeah, Ange could come in the second season and do it. Ruben Amorim, same again. Comes in first year as Manchester United manager, goes and wins a piece of silverware. It's just how the world works in football. And we've got to stop kidding ourselves now that it's processes and look how far we've come. Who cares how far we've come now? Let's deliver. So that's where I see Unai Emery. I think next season for me is the one. If there's no reward at the end of the season, if there's no Champions League football again that season, then that's where the guillotine could drop. And I think that Ange Postecoglou also knows that if he doesn't win this Europa League, he needs sacking. And guess what? Even if Ange Postecoglou wins the Europa League, he still could get sacked. That is how brutal the world of football is. Standards are there. See if he meets them. So yeah, especially PSG. Yeah, the first leg was the killer for us. I 100% agree on that. If Olsen is the second best goalkeeper we've got, then we could have 100 goal a bit. Wouldn't matter. That's true. Get rid of a lot if they can't get the squad ahead of Olsen. But yeah, listen, having Crystal Palace should have been better than getting Man City in the FA Cup. So yeah, we have to realise that. And at the end of the day, you don't create a draw. So Tottenham and Man United don't create the draw they were given it. That's how it works. And you could argue Villa getting Club Brugge in the sort of quarters, that helped our path as well, didn't it? So I'm not one to really say about the draws. I never look at draws. You've got to beat the teams who's ahead of you. But at the end of the day, it is bad news for business if they go and win that, especially Spurs. I probably could stomach United winning. I actually probably could stomach Manchester United winning that trophy, but if it's Spurs, it's disastrous. It's absolutely disastrous. Okay, final one then. Yeah, and the thing is, the Conference League. That's why if we want to bash the Conference League, we're bashing ourselves. If we bash the Conference League, I'm basically bashing Aston Villa because we failed to win it. We failed to win it. So I find it really hard sometimes to come in on the Conference League purely because of that metric. But yeah, exactly that. West Ham, Chelsea, and all of a sudden, Villa becomes more of a failure the more you delve into it. Yeah, it's not nice. It's not nice when you really stem and pencil into it. So there we go. Right. Final bit then. Rashi. Old Marcus. Now, people have gone crazy over this clip, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's average. Have a look at this. Okay, Marcus Rashford is in Dubai. Who cares if he's in Dubai? To be honest, I don't. Some people are bothered about it. I'll show you some of the comments, but here it is. Marcus Rashford doing his rehab work in Dubai wearing Aston Villa training gear. Now, this is where it's quite funny because basically, I don't know what other kit you would expect him to wear apart from his training gear. You wouldn't expect him to be in Dubai wearing his Manchester United kit. You'd expect him to be wearing Villa. He's still technically playing for Villa. But there he is. You can see Rashi now. I'll let it loop through again. So he's doing some rehab work on his hamstring. He's in his Villa gear, as you would expect. But yeah, the comments then. So some people are taking this as, oh, he's going to stay. He's going to play for us. He wants to play for us. It's quite funny. Whole end horizon. Maybe he wants to stay. I don't know if that shows that. And then you get the other end of the scale. Look, ridiculous. We've got weather and a gym here. Absolutely no need to go to Dubai. Why? Why haven't we sent him back? He's out for the season. And then some other people reading it into it then. Hope it's like Mings. Where's his Villa stuff to show he wants to be here permanently? Remember Mings, when Mings got promoted with us from the Championship, but was still a Bournemouth player, Mings went home on the train in his Villa kit and was just flaunting Villa and basically twerking for Villa. So maybe he's doing that. And then people are getting bitter about the Barca links. But there's all sorts of links with Rashford. Now, look, take it as you may. Am I worried about Marcus Rashford? I think I said this last night on my stream. I said this about Marcus Rashford. I said the following. I don't want to be Marcus Rashford's B team, second choice, third choice, fourth choice team. I want Rashford to look at Unai Emery and Villa and go, do you know what? That's the club for me. That's who I'm going to sign for. What I don't want him going is, hey, Barca, I'm twerking for you. Do you want it? Do you want me? Do you want me? No? Oh, okay, quickly. Juve, listen, I'm here. Rashford here. Do you want me? Do you want me? No. Unai, I'm here. Like, sorry, I've been messing around for 3 or 4 weeks. Couldn't get the deal that I wanted, but I'm here now. You know what I can do. Do you want me? That for me is the cut and mustard of why, for example, João Felix is a player that I'll never want. I'll never want João Felix to sign for Villa because we've twerked for him and he's turned us down. Yeah, he has no interest in signing for us, really. His heart's not in it. So, look, absolutely, I think Rashford, why not? Let's go on the positive side of things. Like Tyrone Mings, Marcus Rashford to Villa, why bloody not? Big up to everyone who's joined us. We are going to quickly touch on that Forest thing. I'm going to show you the league table so we can get a little bit excited. I'm a bit miserable about this Manchester United and Tottenham scenario right now. The fact that one of those two teams, after the dustiest of dustiest seasons, is going to win a trophy is annoying. Also, chat, how do you actually feel about the game this weekend? I actually completely switched off in my head that we've still got 4 Premier League games to go. I don't know if I feel so deflated from the FA Cup that I'm actually a bit like the league. I've almost resigned myself to the fact we're not getting Champions League. I don't know if that's a dangerous thing or not. And then I've almost resigned myself that we could miss out on Europa League. That's how I feel. I'm a bit like 4 wins. And especially if we lose to Fulham at home at our fortress, Villa Park, then the rest of the last 3 games are going to feel like empty. So we have to win against Fulham. We've got to hope that results go away. But yeah, it's a 12:30 kickoff. Of course, we'll be doing the watch on, but it feels weird. I don't know. It's the first time this season I'm not massively buzzed for a Villa game. I really feel like the sting has been taken out of our season at the wrong time. I hope I'm wrong. And Michael's still optimistic we'll get Champions League. I wish I shared your optimism with Michael. And so I'm going to need a bit of you in these streams to keep convincing me it's going to happen. I think 5th place is very much up for grabs, but it's going to rely on us winning all 4 and Chelsea and Forest have a stinker. Forest have had a stinker tonight. Let's not beat around the bush. Forest have had a stinker tonight. I only want Rashi if he plays left wing. Been poor in the 9. Couldn't care less if he stays. If he doesn't, then frees up the wages. That's true. Brentford manager at Spurs next year, maybe. But this is my point, right, Captain? This is my point. Imagine the scenario where Ange Postecoglou, right? Ange Postecoglou wins the Europa League but gets sacked. Now that is standards. That is standards. That is absolute standards. So there you go. There you go. I'm just putting that in the title. Forest. So I'm just updating the title about Forest as well because it is true. Forest are bottling it. Do you know what's weird about Forest? Do you know what's weird about Nottingham Forest? I'll tell you what's really weird about Nottingham Forest is their home form used to be incredible. Their home form used to be the one. I'm just trying to get the league table up now. Let's do it on FootMob. Let's get FootMob up. Let's get the. Oh my God, it's 3-0 Man United, 3-0 Tottenham. That's crazy. Chelsea are 4-0. It's just crazy. Crazy vibes. Right, here we go. Here we go. Forest, Villa. Forest have had a little bit of a stinky bit of form, guys. Bodo, yeah, they've got to. The thing is, Fraser, I'll tell you what, if Bodo played the first leg at home, I reckon they would have beaten Spurs and then it rocked Spurs, but it's the annoyance of that. Right. Congratulations to Liverpool. You've won the league. There you are. Top of the league. Right. Forest to 6th. We're in 7th. Goal difference now. Let's look at goal difference. One +5, they're on +12. Chelsea are +19. I've been worried about this. I've been worried about this for a long time. I've been worried about our goal difference killing us in the last game of the season. Imagine if we do 4 wins in a row. Imagine if we do what it takes to get the points and then we're like a couple of goals short. That would kill me. That would absolutely destroy me, that goal difference cost us. But yeah, Forest, having that slump now, which is going to worry them, has it dried out? Has the Forest look dried out? If you look at their loss, they lost at home to Brentford tonight. Weirdly, they beat a dusty Spurs team, but Spurs should have beaten them. Just shows how bad Spurs are. They lost to Everton at home, and then obviously we beat them. So when you look at that, they've lost now to Everton and Brentford at home, and we beat them 2-1 at Villa Park. Yeah, they lost 2-0 tonight. So they've taken 3 L's. They've taken 3 L's in their last 5. Forest now, honestly, could be on the ropes. And AVFC 85 is right. That point against City would have been massive. If we drew Man City, it would have neglected goal difference. Yeah. Chelsea conceded. Get in there. Love that update, Fraser. United to win Europa League. They've got pedigree win trophies, and we know how. Listen, I'll be real with you guys right now. I'm going to go to United Spurs in the league. If, by the way, Puffy has joined us. If and Captain's even said it. Hi, Puff. She's had no chocolate recently, in fact, which is good. And she's been playing with Start, I think. So there we go. Big up to Puff. If you haven't smashed the like button, smash it for Puff as well. But I'll be real with you right now. I'll be real with you right now. If it had to choose between United or Spurs to win the Europa League, it's a no-brainer. It has to be United. I see Spurs as a rival in trophies. United win trophies and they play dusty. They won the FA Cup. It's that sort of thing. United, they do find ways of winning. However, Spurs to win a trophy, it's just like Newcastle. It puts Villa behind again. So we need to be on the Man United hype train on that one. But big up to Puff as well. But yeah. So yeah, league table. Look at this. I mean, this just shows how weird it is. Villa on 57 points, right? And then you've got Man United and Tottenham all the way down here. Look how embarrassing it is. Look how embarrassing it is. United and Tottenham. Look at their league form. 37 points. L. 4 L's in the league. Man United, no wins in their last 5 in the league. Yet these two teams, Tottenham United, let me just say it as simple as this. Man United or Tottenham will be in the Champions League next season. That actually hurts me saying that. Winning the Europa League gives you passage to... Damn. Actually saying that hurts. Winning the Europa League gives you passage to the Champions League. One of Spurs or Tottenham will be in the Champions League next season. How does that make you feel? You bringing Puff to Western with you, Josh? Yeah, we got to. Absolutely got to. She'll love that on the beach with a Villa collar. So yeah, does that not make you sick? Spurs have been good against United this season, played 3-1-3. Madness. But there we go. So yeah, I'm a bit fuming about it. But Forest, let's just have a quick look at who Forest have left to play. Can we go above Nottingham Forest? I've always said we'd finish above Chelsea. So maybe my dreams are going to come true, that Villa do finish 5th. Maybe Villa do finish 5th. By the way, bit of update on Starry. I'm going to give you a very good update on Starry. That's my daughter, Ellie. All right. Bit of an update on her. Quickly. She's just finished her league season, played 18 games, and she has scored 54 goals this season. Absolute bags, woman. Ollie Watkins could learn a thing or two off her. 54 goals in 18 games. Very proud of her. Absolute baller. Got to get her a club. We've got to get her trials. That's what I'm going to be doing this summer. I'm going to be emailing some of the local non-league academies, not non-league academies, and we're going to try and get her a trial because 54 goals in 18 games. You're not messing, are you? You're a bagswoman, bagsman. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Big up Starry on that sense. I thought I'd bring that in because she's in there. She's chilling with me. I thought, do you know what? She needs a shout out. So there we go. Spurs are bottle jobs, though. Absolutely. Big up to James Wood, a legend. This reminded me of a lucky hole save on the FA Cup. Then next season finished 17th, stayed up by a point and won the... Exactly. Big up to FM. They never fail. Right. Here's Forest's fixtures. We've gone off on a railway, but I quite like it because this is very poignant. Okay. Crystal Palace away. I'm saying Palace win that. What is Puff's favourite snack? Pizza. No joke. Any bread. I'll quickly pull this up. Puff's favourite snack is pizza or bread. She's nuts for it. She's absolutely crazy for bread. So there we go. Palace. I'm saying Palace win that. Palace W. Although they were, I think actually Palace will win that. Forest v Leicester. That's a Forest win. West Ham Forest is a really dusty game because West Ham are crap. West Ham are actually crap. But they could take something off Forest. And then that big one. Look at that last game of the season. We talk about the race for Champions League. Forest versus Chelsea. Last game of the season. Wow. Massive. Absolutely massive. Forest West Chelsea last game of the season is absolutely massive. So in terms of that, I'm saying 0 points against Palace, 3 against Leicester. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go 3 points against West Ham. Let's say they take 6 points. I reckon Forest take 6 or 7 points. West Ham hopefully play with a bit of freedom, they express themselves, and we'll be all right with that. My favourite food is pizza. Two kinded spirits. Absolutely. Exactly. She does love pizza. All the kids have that. We need Forest to fumble here. Let's have a look at Chelsea. I've gone 7 points maybe for Forest. This is probably going to be a stream I do next week, trying to predict. But yeah, quickly, my mind might change. just having a quick look at Chelsea. They've hit form knowing at the right time. Chelsea are what? Chelsea are winning, but the Conference League helps them. Chelsea, though, have a minging time. Chelsea do have some minging fixtures. Look at these Chelsea fixtures. They've got Liverpool. Now, what Liverpool team are you going to get after just winning the league? Are all of Liverpool players on the piss? Are they all drunk? Are they all going to be smoking the cigars? Are they going to be a Liverpool team that rolls over for Chelsea? They've got Newcastle, massive. They've got Man United, massive. And then they've got Forest. So they've got a really tricky fixture list. They've got Forest, United, Newcastle, Liverpool. On paper, that is terrible for Chelsea. But you can start making cases. A weak Liverpool team, a Newcastle side that is going to probably beat them. This Man United side is going to be resting players for the Conference League, Europa League final, and that's the showdown. So Chelsea might have it better than we think. So there we go. We'll have to see. Do you know what I mean? There we go. And Captain says top Steph Starry. Absolutely. She's very much saying thank you. Quite, yeah. My mum saying, yes, big up Starry. You should be proud she is. Oh, look, see, this is what happens. This is why Spurs cannot win the Europa League, people. Because you got people like Pete. You got people like Pete. Pete is our residential Tottenham troll, who told me that Tottenham is he told me that Tottenham are the biggest team. He told me that Tottenham are the biggest team in London. And I asked him why, and he said basically global fan base, the big pull that they have across Europe and blah, 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 right? A Tottenham fan trying to give it large. And then you ask him why, and he said, we got to the Champions League final in 2021 against Liverpool. Pete now has come in and said, Aston Villa, too soft and no flavour, trophyless club, just a boring club in the Midlands. Pete is already speaking like his team have won the Europa League. And that's why Spurs winning the Europa League could be the worst outcome ever. I'm telling you 100% now, they have to lose to Man United. They have to lose to Man United. We need Man United. We need Man United to do us a favour. Spurs are playing you on a... Yeah, exactly that. Forest and Palace were, man, not easy at all. Exactly agree. Spurs are an anonymous London club where it counts in England. You plum exactly. Big up Andy Brogan has just joined us, and big up to my man Super Matty Taylor area. Super Matty, 33 months. What a number that is, Super Matty Taylor. I want to know if he's done his research on the new goalkeeper Jerome Garcia, as Super Matty is in the goalkeepers union. He loves the goalkeepers. We get Emmy Martinez, Tada Garcia. Hello. But yeah, thank you. Brentford is a massive shout. They have given us something to play for. Do you know what, actually? I said about 10 minutes ago that I'm not really looking forward to Villa and the Premier League, and I feel like, it's been hard. But do you know what? Brentford are giving me a bit of life again. Top 5 is on. Can't wait for these fans to shut up. Not long to the unbanterable times. Oh, Pete. Oh, Pete. Pete. You get Pete as captain. Yeah, exactly. Super Matty, exactly that. He said, first time I've even spoke about football since come back from Wembley. Said that, I honestly felt so deflated after Saturday. I had 3 days off doing any content. First time this season, I've not really thought about us playing Fulham. And really, this end of the season, I thought I'd be analysing every stat, every data about Fulham. I haven't even looked at Fulham's form. I don't really, not that I don't care, but I just felt like someone had popped the Villa balloon. Now, Brentford doing the Lord's work and beating Forest, the balloon is being blown up again. Villa are getting Champions League, baby. Imagine that turnaround. We have to, though. I think we have to get to just put a smile on everyone's face at the end of the season. I think Champions League football will be absolutely worth it. And then watch our recruitment. We get Champions League football, we'll get Champions League players. So there we go. If we get 5th after quarterfinal, Champions League semi-final, it's a great season. Yeah. But if we get 8th, then it's a different conversation, or 7th. Yeah, there you go. But there we go. Michael's got me believing. It's back on our hands. Are we all confident to beat Fulham this weekend? At home at the Fortress Villa Park. For me, it's at home. We're unbeaten now in 19, or is it 20 games at Villa Park? Number 2, it's Villa. We need a response. We have to respond. Those players will not be deaf and silent or Unai Emery of the criticism that's come to them from that FA Cup. I am 100% sure the players will know how pissed off the fans are from that FA Cup display. Those players know they need to win all 4 games and put us in the best position for Champions League. I think they're not deaf and silent. I think they know that it matters. The only thing I hate is we have to play 12:30. No one likes a 12:30. No one likes a 12:30. I hate 12:30s. And you all better be up ready for the 12:30 to join me on the watch on through that pain as well. But yeah, there we go. Brentford done the Lord's work, but Man United and Spurs, it annoys me. Our revenue concerns me of 96 of our turnovers on wages. We have to sell to buy now. I think that's going to be the pattern, Frosty, for probably the next 2-3 years, mate. Unfortunately, until we stabilise things, we genuinely seem to be overspending on wages. Honestly. Pete's trying to troll us by saying European champions, you'll never sing it. Is this Deji's burner account? I do start to wonder. It's got to be a Deji burner account, isn't it? Because if he knows, I think you're singing at the wrong team. Sing out Arsenal. You and Arsenal go have your banter about Europe and being European champions. We're not in that category. And then Lee Magpie says Villa have already bottled top 5. Sad club. I told you, Villa are hated. People in the chat, Villa fans in the chat. I've gone on these neutral panel shows probably for last season. Never a foul, big up to them. I'm telling you now, the hate for our club is unbelievable. I do not know why so many people outside of Aston Villa hate Villa. I do not understand why so many people outside of Villa hate Villa, but they do. They absolutely detest us. They absolutely detest Aston Villa Football Club. I think they're scared of us. Genuinely, I think they're scared of our project, the redevelopment stadium, the owners that we have, the heritage, the history, the fact that we're building. Why, oh why, do Newcastle, Tottenham, Man United fans, they hate us and they don't want to give us the respect. So it's interesting, but there we go. It's the early season results that cost us. Too many draws in around Christmas time as well. Christmas, January was a terrible time. Terrible time. Bournemouth result where they scored late on against us for a draw. We drew with Brighton. We drew with West Ham. I think we drew with Palace as well. Do you know what? We are absolutely, mudded from the earlier season results, and that upsets me. And that annoys me. Aviation says, sorry, I'm so late. I didn't get a notification. Damn, people, check your notification bell. If that happens, turn it on and off and reset it. And Emmy is going nowhere, and nor should he. I reckon Emmy does go, personally. I think he goes and takes the bag. I think he goes takes the money. If Emmy Martinez stays, then for me, he's shown his true ambition as a footballer. And he's taken the harder route. To win a trophy with Aston Villa is like trying to win a trophy at Spurs in some aspect. A massive club, been 29 years without a trophy. That's a hard voodoo. Hard voodoo. So there we go. But people, listen. Forest losing tonight is absolutely massive. It has given us life again, to be fair. I'm starting to get pumped for Saturday already. Yeah, starting to get pumped. Let's have a quick look at the table one more time for what that could do. So who did Chelsea have at the weekend? They have, let me just check this again. So Chelsea have, at the weekend, Liverpool. Real talk now. Do Liverpool turn up? Chelsea have Liverpool. I'm actually giving up on Man City and Newcastle. I'm sort of saying those two get 3rd and 4th. And Forest have got Crystal Palace. Imagine a weekend where Chelsea lose to Liverpool, Forest lose to Crystal Palace, and we beat Fulham. If that happens, okay, we all go level on points with 3 games to go. And we have to claw the goal difference. Have a look at this. People. Have a look at this. You're right, love. You're off to some ice gems.
No.
You can get some. Then beat with my car if you want to go get some. Chat. I'm getting excited. I'm actually getting myself excited. Let's go over this one more time. Okay. How weird in the space of a stream I've gone from going, do you know what? The season's bloody done. United and Spurs. Honestly, I'll be real. I'm going to minimize this quickly. I'll be real. I came on here and I saw the United and Tottenham results, and I went, one of those dusty clubs after that season is going to win a trophy. And as I said, that's Spurs or United, that's Newcastle, that's Chelsea, they're going to win the Conference League, that's Liverpool, and that is probably going to be Man City, or, winning trophies. And then if Arsenal do the unthinkable, which is win the Champions League, which they won't, but if they did, it would just destroy me. 6 clubs winning Champions League. But there we go. But yeah, sorry. I always go off on a tangent because I think about something. By the way, it wasn't ice creams in the boot of the car. It was iced gems. If I kept ice creams in the car, my car would be flooded. But yeah, in that way, they wouldn't be good. Let me know, by the way, what was the last ice cream everyone had? I'll tell you mine. I had a feast yesterday, with Heidi. We had a feast. No, not the mint one. Is there a mint one, is there? Mint chocolate. Oh, yeah, no, we haven't had that, but maybe soon. So, I'm going to be real. Newcastle and Man City get 3rd and 4th. It's a fight for Chelsea, Forest and Villa for 5th. 5th gets you Champions League, right? So, Chelsea and Forest both lose at the weekend. Chelsea lose to Liverpool. Forest lose to Palace. Villa beat Fulham. Let's say we score 3 goals. We go to +8. Let's say Forest lose a couple of goals. They go to +10. We claw that back. But it's Chelsea's goal difference. Chelsea's goal difference is the fila da puta da Pulcaria. That is the one that F's us up. So Chelsea's goal difference. I've been calling this now. Bring the whole pack in. I'll see how many's left. Listen, chat. I've been saying this for ages. I've been worried about a goal difference when it was in the minuses. I said, what if that cost us a Champions League spot? I'll be raging. I'll be absolutely raging. Let's go to the chat then. Rich says I'm enjoying the channel. Big up, Rich. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new as well, and get the notification bell on, because that's what we do. We try and go live every day. We try and stay consistent. Trying to be better at it. And I just want to keep growing. I just want to keep growing this platform. We're big up with the watch-alongs. So, yeah, we do watch-alongs on there, and we do the live streams on here. And it's gonna all fall into place. Yeah, 9-0. Newcastle are Brighton, not easy. No, they have. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm not. Listen, I've given up on Newcastle dropping out. I think Man City and Newcastle have 3rd and 4th locked in. Does everyone agree with me in the chat right now? Newcastle and Man City, whichever order you want, they've got 3rd and 4th locked in. I can't see any other way. Let's get the table up one more time. Let's just have a look at that again. Look, 61, 62. Yeah, I mean, if Newcastle lost, then maybe you see them drop out, but I just can't see any other way. I think Newcastle and City are 3rd and 4th locked in. I really do. I can't see any other outcome as such. So there we go. No. Let me count how we got. Bentley the Boxer says, I'm a team fan. We don't hate, just match some hate you, because when we got relegated, but we got our own back when we got promoted. You'd be surprised how many of you respect us. That's true. 4 left is there. That's one. You have 1. Dresden's 1 for lunch. I'll pass them up. I'll save them. Big up the Ice Gems. But yeah, I get that. I think it's a weird relationship, Newcastle and Villa. United and Spurs winning is good for us. We play Spurs, the Europa League final, then we play United. To be fair, Aviation, to be fair, they did rotate against Liverpool, didn't they? And their rotated team had Ben Davis at centre back. They had bloody Doggy. They had Archie Gray. Yeah, basically Spurs' team against Liverpool, because they were rotating for this Europa League campaign, was turgid. They got beat 5-1. So actually, a Spurs rotated side, I'm here for it. So there we go. Well, listen, I said to Heidi today, it is Bank Holiday Monday. The under-18s are playing the FA Cup Youth Final at Villa Park, and it's £1 entry. 3 o'clock. I think they play Man United. They play, was it Man City or Arsenal? I can't even remember now. I actually potentially could go. We could go up to that, maybe. If it's £1 entry to go watch the under-18s and sit at Villa Park, I'm half tempted. You know. I'm half tempted by that. At Villa Park on Monday, 3 o'clock. Yeah, they're playing the FA Youth Cup final under 18, so we might do that. But yeah, Tottenham on the 18th of May as well. Who knows? But no, probably that £1 one might be the one. The result I can't get on my head is the Bournemouth one. I agree. Do you know what? The Man City result, the more I think about it, big up Supermate as well. Good luck with work. Do you know what? The Man City result, the more we look at it, is the one. Conceding that late against Man City. Mateus Nunes, that's killed us. Oh, yeah, there we go. But yeah, listen, we're going to wrap up in a second, chat, but all things Villa, maybe things are rosier again. Maybe we have to believe. Maybe we have to think. I don't know. What I'll probably do is after the Fulham game, with 3 games to go, I'll break down what I think the table will end up as. Yeah, love that, James. Love that, Aviation. Yeah, I think it's worth £1, isn't it? Really, to go. Bit of doubt. I'll have a look. I'll have a think about that one. I think it'd be pretty cool to do that. But there we go. But yeah, listen, everyone, enjoy the sun. Stay safe. Keep the sun cream on. Get the ice creams in you. Get the fluids in you. And as ever, I really appreciate everyone who's come out here, who's supported the channel, who's basically, had their say in the chat. We do rate it. We do really appreciate it. And thank you so much. I'll do my shout outs in a second. I'm just seeing who I can redirect to. Let's see if there's any Villa channels that are live. For the love of Paul McGrath is live. Do you know what? Sometimes it's good to scratch another Villa fan channel's hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect you to Paul McGrath, aka not actual Paul McGrath, but Neil. If you want to put in the chat AVFTS Raid or Josh Raid in the chat, that would be much appreciated. It shows you come from my channel. If you put Josh Raid or AVFTS Raid, that would be much appreciated. But yeah, there we go. Aviation, big up to you. ABFC 85 legend, Michael legend, James Wood legend. Big up to Super Matty, of course, he's probably working. Big up to my mum. Big up to Standing. Big up to Bentley, the Newcastle fan. Big up to Monkey Phonics. Big up to Rich. Not big up to Pete. Lee Magpie, big up to everyone who's been in here. Captain as well. We all appreciate it. Yeah, let's have it. Let's enjoy it. And enjoy this Friday tomorrow. As I said, who knows what we'll be talking about tomorrow. Well done, Brentford. The bees have stung the forest. And go raid the Paul McGrath chat with AVFTS Raid. I'm out of here, people. Ta